Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming and sitting down because today's topic is a little close to home. Because we're going to be talking about figurine collecting. As some of you might know, I'm a collector of many pop culture and horror memorabilia, specifically figurines. I mean, I got the original Haunted Mask. I know. I know. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. But I have a large assortment. I love vinyl figurines and toys. I love the art form of it, soft-ooby stuff, all that kind of shit. Love, 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 love it. I just think it adds so much to your room. Love it. Just a beautiful, big, physical thing that you can hold, look at. It just is big, colorful. Gives you a lot of inspiration to be creative, right? And if you're into collecting it all, then I am sure that you know of Funko Pops. These vinyl figurines are literally everywhere. It doesn't matter what store you're in. Pharmacies. Hi, Funko Pops. How you doing? If you go to any large retail store, you're guaranteed to find at least a small section dedicated to Funko Pops. Now, for most people, these collectibles seem like harmless fun, but that is far from the truth, my friend. These things have led to multiple instances of financial ruin, fights, and serious injury. So, come with me as we examine the world of Funko Pops more closely and discover how dangerous these plastic hunks really are.
Now, here's the question. Do you like Funko Pops?
I just remember I worked at a hobby store like 2014, and that's whenever they started doing stuff that was like, oh, they're introducing a lot more IPs. Like, oh, there's Walking Dead. That show's popular right now. But I remember they did one for Magic, and they had like a Garrick one. I bought the Garrick one because I was like, oh, it's cool, like a little Garrick. My biggest problem with Funko Pops before we get into the origins of Funko Pops is it's the simplicity of they're all on the same base model. Cube head thing, the fucking soulless eyes, and they were usually just wearing like the outfit that the character was known for. I remember even looking at Max Mofo. He showed like his collection room and he had like an OG, like he was collecting them way because he's a fucking monster. He loves collecting stuff, but he has like some of the OG characters and stuff, and it used to be a thing where it was like kind of cool to try to collect them, but now it just became so oversaturated so quickly that, and you know what the biggest problem is perception wise is like it gets into like IP that maybe you don't like, kind of tainting your perception of it, you know what I mean? They're popular. It's insane to think that if you go to any convention too, I don't know how people have entire booths of Funko Pops. There's no way they're selling them. And these booths that people have that are huge, how are you moving that much product?
All it takes is one, baby. One big Funko Pop.
Sell the golden goose, yeah.
Today's video is sponsored by Fume, the leaders in flavored air. Breaking bad habits can be hard. Breaking bad habits can be hard. So why don't you let Fume help? Fume is not a vape. It's not an e-cig. It's just flavored air, which means you can use Fume anywhere, thanks to no vapor, no nicotine, and no toxic chemicals. And on top of that, Fume is an award-winning device that puts you on the path towards being free from bad habits. Ah! And just in time for the summer, Fume has new flavor air, Mango! Ah! This tropical flavor is perfect for fueling your day and staying on the track with better habits. Ah! Fume is also there for when you're feeling anxious. Ah! Find your calm and center yourself with the satisfying clicks and snaps of the device whenever and wherever you need to. Ah! Over 500,000 people have already made the switch to Fume as part of their habit change journey. If you're ready to try it for yourself, now's the time! Ah! For a limited time, if you order the Journey Pack using my code PAPAMEAT, you'll get a free Fume topper, an awesome accessory to level up your experience. Yeah! Click the link at tryfume.com/papameat or scan the QR code on screen to get yours today. Thank you, Fume, for sponsoring the video, and back to the video. But let's talk about the origins of Funko Pops, which our story begins in 1998 when a man named Mike Becker founded Funko and began selling bobblehead toys. His first product was a bobblehead of a popular American burger chain character, Big Boy. Remember the Big Boy bobblehead? Those are popular. Also, Big Boy's a fucking classic, dude.
He started that bobblehead?
Well, I mean, the Big Boy guy's been around forever. From there, Funko began to gain traction from collectors as it continued to branch out and make different collectible of popular IPs. And during the early 2000s, Funko released a line of figurines called Funko Force, which included figurines from DC Comics and all other kinds of shit. This line of toys was met with some success, but it wasn't until 2010 that Funko released Funko Force 2.0, revealing the new vinyl figurines that we know today. From that moment on, Funko has only grown grown in popularity with over 13,000 collectibles released since 2010. That's insane.
That's too much.
People over the globe have been obsessed with each release since 2021. Funko has made an average of $1 billion in profit each year. I am so surprised by that figure. That's crazy. Have you known anybody that has actually still today collected them?
No. When they first came out, same around the same year, it was big on Reddit. Like the same thought process. I was like, these look all the same.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like playing it and whatever. But then it was just, I just hated looking at it after a while. Because also the thing too is like, they're not fun to really look at. So what makes them so popular? Well, for starters, Funko has created figurines for nearly every single fandom, making it accessible to everyone. And furthermore, many celebrities like Ice Spice, Patrick Mahomes, Bruce Lee, and others have their own branded figures, which Bruce Lee, how does he do it from the grave? We'll never know. With such a wide variety and fun colors, it's no surprise that Funko Pops has become one of the largest collectible brands on planet Earth. Much of their addictive appeal can be traced back to savvy marketing strategies and that constantly tap into the nostalgia, exclusivity, and the fear of missing out. FOMO!
That's what it is. It's the FOMO. We only have 30 of these. I gotta get them all.
See, it's kind of like what Magic's doing right now with serialized cards, where it's like, there's only so many being made. Then you're like, yeah, I might not like the IP, but I like the collecting aspect and the rarity of it. Maybe if they were like extremely popular to where they're flying off the shelves, I mean, maybe. I'm sure there are more that are more collectible that are out of print, but now it's like, if there's a new one, I mean, they're everywhere.
Oh, maybe they'll stop printing it.
Maybe. While Funko might make every single kind of figure under the sun, that is not the sole reason why they are so popular. The branding and marketing for this toy are insanely good. They mainly do this by releasing multiple variants of the same Funko, which makes others rarer, resulting in people spending more money to try to get them. The Labubu shit, you know, you want to get the variants, you want to get all collectible things because then you have a set of something. If I don't have this, it's going to drive me crazy looking at it. Like, I have to have the set.
It's like Magic too.
What really drives collectors into a craze are the rare chase variants. And these are limited edition variants of standard figurines produced at ratio of like 1 in 36 units, making them highly sought after and difficult to find. This is just for the Funko figurines, but today they also have multiple lines of different size figurines and merch, each having its own unique branding. So they have stepped out of the, you know, regular mold, and the thing that was regular is just now big. Which is pretty cool. This results in people amassing huge collections that have taken them years to make and cost them thousands of their hard-earned dollars. If you search Funko Pop on YouTube, you'll be greeted with a long list of creators who have massive collections and some that are pretty big. For instance, Paul Scardino holds the world record for the most figurines in one collection with over 8,000 figurines in his collection alone. He began collecting in 2015 after being gifted one on a birthday party. Do you think he looked at that motherfucker like Smeagol in the Ring?
Yeah.
No, it's a Funko Pop. I know you like Ghostbusters. So. Yeah, I like Ghostbusters. Talking to it from the glass case. I love you. You're gonna come home with me, okay? All right, Paul, I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah.
He almost has every single one.
8,000?
Out of 13,000.
Which, yeah, I mean, he's like, trust me, there's still a lot to go, but you're halfway there. How do you have the space? How many times have me and you watched videos where it's like a guy being like, hey guys, let me show you my anime statue collection, and it's like a 1-bedroom apartment? Is that like you have no escape from your collecting hobby? That's gotta be unhealthy, right?
He probably has one like bedroom that he's just dedicated to Funko. He can't even see them all. He's just stacking them like back to back up to the ceiling.
Yeah, if he's a true collector. He's not going to put the ones on the bottom because the weight distribution, whatever. I mean, other examples include YouTuber Top Pops, who has 3.3 million followers on YouTube. His content often deals with telling his viewers on upcoming launches, politics of Funko, and of course, showing off his 5,000 piece collection. I love the idea of him just being like, a lot of big news in the war room over there at Funko. The CEO is doing some kind of crazy things to keep the company afloat, but I'm happy for Q3 projections. I'd love to dive in on that conversation, dude. What drives collectors to such extremes often goes beyond mere fandom. Within the community, there's a term called OOB, or OOB, value, which stands for out of box and refers to the estimated value of a figure once it has been removed from the original packaging. AKA, you ever drive a Lamborghini off the lot? As soon as that Lambo gets off the lot, OOB, right? Many collectors believe that taking a figure out of the box or damaging the box can reduce its value by 50%. That's why so many collectors choose to display walls of box Funko Pops, keeping them in mint condition because you got to have that value up. Almost like the stock market. Like it's a long-term investment, even though there's really absolutely no plan of ever selling them. But it's like, yeah, but the value. Would you want to say that's like gambling in a weird way?
Some people, I think, do gamble with their Funkos. Oh, what I see is a justification because they're just like, if I spend $50 on this now, it might be $80 next year.
Yeah, well, I mean, I bought it for 25, but now it's worth 70.
Well, if I ever need the money, I could sell my Funkos, but I won't.
It's to justify frivolousness.
Yes.
Can you imagine being the Funko guy in a group of friends? I bought this new car. Wow. A Range Rover? Really? Can you afford that? It's like you have 8,000 Funko Pops.
That's an investment, Steve.
The Range Rover in 2 years is going to be worth like nothing, and the Funko Pops are only going to appreciate. It's kind of fucked up because he might be kind of right there too.
I didn't know Funkos got as expensive as.
Well, I mean, they all have like certain ones. I'm pulling the statistic out of my ass, but 99% of them are not going to. It's just going to take up shelf space, or whoever you're selling it, or even Marvel had the little ones too.
Amiibos. I know some guy almost had the entire collection, and he sold it to GameStop for $1,300.
I don't know how else you could look at someone in the face like it's the entire Amiibo collection. $1,300. Hey man, you're welcome to sell on your own. All right, but we can give you cash now. Like a loan shark or something, isn't it? The unopened value is a big reason why people are addicted, because some of these vinyl figures go for tens of thousands of dollars unboxed. The number one sought after Funko Pop is the elusive golden ticket 2-pack. All the crypto whales in chat just did. Did someone say golden ticket 2-pack? It was released in July of 2016, and the golden ticket 2-pack is a collection of a golden Willy Wonka and Oompa Loompa figure. Only 10 were made for San Diego Comic-Con attendees, and only 4 were publicly distributed. This led to these Funko Pops being sold for $100,000 in May of 2022, and for even more staggering $210,000 in July of 2023.
See, Mom, my value doubled.
Yeah. Not so crazy now, Mom, huh? According to many pricing websites, if you were to buy one of these packs on average, you could expect to pay at least $164,000 for one of them. That's got to be such you levels of money to just be like, 100 grand. That's like actually legitimately some crypto whale shit where they're just like, sure, yeah, here's my flash drive. Just that'll pay for it, I swear.
He's a Funko whale.
That's what we need. We need to get Funko whales out there. If you're a Funko whale, stand up and be proud. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. The second most expensive vinyl is the Alex DeLarge Clockwork Orange Pop, which can sell from between $40,000 to $60,000, which is so weird to me. The Clockwork Orange figure.
I have no idea.
It's so weird what gets value, right? Meanwhile, Freddy Funko mascot figures range in value from $6,000 to $48,000, depending on the variant. But one person took out a $100,000 loan to get his Freddy Funko figure. And what's crazy is that those are just the amounts for one single figure. That doesn't take into account the thousands of dollars some collectors have spent on their entire collection. These things are like on average, what, $15 a piece? If you have 8,000 of them, how much is that, Nick?
120.
Like, let's say you have one that's like super expensive, but then the rest of your collection, I mean, you're paying basically, I mean, double that. Like your entire collection is hundreds of thousands of dollars, which is insane to think of. It has become such a problem that other collectors have begun to view Funko Pops and their collection as cancer on the figurine hobby scene. One collector wrote a whole blog about the issue stating, quote, "These items are only considered collectible because they get marketed that way. And some are harder to find by design. To most collectors, the rare items are rare because an accident in production or an external factor. In short, Funko takes the fun out of collecting by creating a fake collector's market for profit." That's kind of every market. I feel like everybody's learned from that too. But then also too, every consumer is more educated about like what's valuable. So really even those things that are like, you know, the weird misprints and stuff, there's some channels that are kind of cool. Like there's a channel called like Froggy Flips or something where he goes to like garage sales or conventions and stuff. And he's like, oh, this is kind of, he has like a very deep knowledge of like weird figurines or collectibles or something where it's, oh, this was something that they only made in like the 80s, that weird stuff like that, to where you're like, oh, it's kind of like a unicorn thing, but these haven't been in production since the 80s. There's something that's kind of fun about the collection with that too, though. I still think that a company can make something where they're like, the intention of this is to be collectible. If it is for a market of people that are like, I want to collect that, I don't think that's necessarily malicious. I think what's more so malicious is just like, it's almost like selling cigarettes. It's like getting people hooked or addicted to buying something. Oh yeah, we're gonna make everything. And like none of it actually has value, but we'll say it does. To me, that's manipulative.
With Funko Pops, you know what you're buying. Like Labubus, you don't. They're blind boxes.
Yeah, I mean, blind boxing is literally gambling. I don't think that there's even anything wrong with getting the blind boxes, but it's like, you are going to have people who are like addicted to being like, I need to have this set, and they're going to like buy every single fucking one. Versus Funko Pop's just like, do you like the chicks from Ghostbusters 2016? We got them, you know, and it's like, that's your conscious decision to buy them. So to me, I'm like, it's the buyer's fault. They're ugly as shit. I don't know what I'm supposed to tell you. Looking in comments under the blog post, this is a popular sentiment among other collectors. But how did it get this way? Which leads us into Funko addiction. Black tar, heroin, fentanyl, get out of the way. We're talking about Funko addiction. A big reason why Funko Pops have grown to be more than a collection is that people view it as an investment. Did we just reiterate all this earlier? No shit. People spend hundreds of dollars on Funko Pops in hopes of reselling their collection for a profit in the future, but they don't realize that this is not the case for most figures. To me, that's like that goes into the whole Pokemon scalping thing. It goes into the whole idea of like guys going in and like mass buying something to like sell it for a higher price later. That just feels so fucking scummy to me.
Yeah, it's pretty shitty. It's like that thing was $25, $35.
Also, like, what kind of fucking human being are you? You like walk to an apartment? Are you a big Funko person? No, I'm just trying to make a quick buck. Like a giant pallet of them. Yeah, no, these Marty McFly ones are gonna fly at the Minnesota Comic-Con, so really excited about that. Gonna make a huge profit. Yeah, this one's pretty cool. He has a green jacket instead of orange. As more people get into the hobby and the demand continues to grow, the market becomes more saturated. Funko itself reported that during COVID, it saw a 58% increase in net sales due to the global pandemic, and this caused their production to ramp up and flood the market with lots and lots of pops. However, as that boom in popularity slowed down, Funko still had to manage the overwhelming amount of Funkos in their inventory. So in 2023, Funko saw a 48% increase in their inventory from the previous year due to the cost of maintaining it. They dumped $30 million worth of Funko Pops in a landfill to cut down cost of having to hold on to them. Funko! The guys that make it! There's a landfill with $30 million of Funko. That's the future, dude.
Oh, yeah, landfill.
Oh, my God. We're so fucked, aren't we?
I think it was like their inventory at that time was $250 million worth of product, and they dumped $30 million.
We're only dumping 30 million of it. I mean, it's like 220 million left. I don't know why you guys are being such babies about it.
They're getting rid of all the Game of Thrones Funkos.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. Yeah, exactly. Game of Thrones was like, what seasons did poorly? Okay, Game of Thrones, Last of Us Funkos, get them out of here. All that kind of stuff, right? In fact, there's a huge movement in the community to stop the market's oversaturation, which lowers the value of newer figures. This has caused a severe problem of people going into debt trying to maintain their investments. It's so pathetic, dude. I love it. One person took to Reddit talking about how he and his uncle were sharing the basement of his parents' house, and his uncle accidentally ruined his unboxed value of his entire collection. The user told his uncle not to stack boxes on a specific tote containing his figures. While his uncle was moving out, when the man went back to check his figures, he saw that the boxes were crushed and damaged. Apparently, the collector's unboxed value was $300, but after the box was destroyed, it was worth next to nothing. Since then, the uncle has blocked his nephew everywhere, and the guy has gone into debt trying to get his collection back. I'll donate plasma and take out loans. Early in the video, I said they wouldn't stack on the bottom because they would crush it. People that don't know, they look at these ugly fucking thing. I don't know, it looks like a Bratz doll or something. I don't know. What is worse is that the comments under the thread validate the original poster's response, saying he should sue his uncle for personal damages, and the user said he would, but can't because he spent all of his money on his Funko Pops. To me, it's more so the disrespect of being like, I asked you not to and you did anyways, you're a dick. Keep my distance from him, but would I sue my uncle over it? No. But many more severe cases of collection addiction has resulted in people's lives being completely ruined. One man ended up getting divorced after prioritizing his Funko Pop collection over his marriage. In a post on r/amItheasshole, he asked if he was in the wrong for refusing to stop buying the figurines, even after his wife begged him to stop. Do you think that every time someone posts a "Am I the asshole?" Yeah, they're the asshole.
They're usually
the asshole. I was just saying, it feels that way. He prefaced the beginning of the post by stating that his wife had known of his collection since the beginning of the relationship, and that she had never had a problem with it before. He then says that he would spend an average of $100 a month on Funko Pops alone, but recently had been spending around over $500 a month, so his wife began to complain.
That's kind of a big jump.
Justifiably so. 5 times what you were paying before. There is the financial aspect of it where you're like, it went from $1,200 a year to basically what, over $6,000 a year?
Yeah.
Right? Which is that, but then also space. $500 a month on Funko. I mean, like, are they in every room? I would say it's more psychological damage than anything. So the getting's good. There's too many deals, babe. I gotta buy. But instead of toning it back, he doubled down and told her that because they had good jobs, they could afford it. This led to a big fight, and eventually she gave him an ultimatum: Funko Pops or marriage.
What would you choose?
marriage. I also would be like, this is overtaking our lives. Which even I have a collection of stuff, which luckily we have space to where it's like, my hobbies never intrude on a communal space. That's kind of the big thing with relationships too, is like, when you're in a marriage, it's give and take. It doesn't mean that you can't have your little spot, but I think it's like, you need to be respectful and being like, how much of your shit is just completely overrunning everything to where somebody else is like living in your obsessions, which I think is no bueno. Like, I mean, that's like hell for somebody. Babe, listen, I'm the breadwinner and I'm going to do what I want.
The house is in my name.
Look what I just got. Look what I just got.
See, I'm going to charge my girlfriend rent and then spend that on Funkos.
That would be so deranged, dude. He said plainly that he wouldn't let her get in the way of his passion and expects the divorce papers soon. AKA, this person is a completely emotionally immature person who is probably going to die alone.
You might find his Funko love out there, though.
You know what's the thing, though? Even if you find somebody, because it's going to be like jealousy. You got that one?
See, then you just sign a prenup, too.
That'd be a long divorce, wouldn't it? So, like, split the assets. Or is that one mine? Can you imagine sitting in that room being like, all right, so we have the Aang, Avatar Last Airbender. He's in the Avatar mode. If she gets this, I'll kill myself. I want this one right now. Just let him have it. All right, we have the Smokey and the Bandit. So actually, if I don't get that one, I'll kill myself. This story of this divorce gained news media attention and exposed the dark underbelly of Funko collecting to the masses. People were astonished to see that this was real, but the woman came out and said that this was a common thing among men with large collections. It's very obvious that for some, collecting Funko Pops is like using a drug, and once they get the itch, they just can't stop. Another collector quite literally went through withdrawals and lost everything because he was so addicted to the high of buying Funko Pops. That shit can happen with anybody, man. This is with anything that you see. People can get in the fucking swing where they're like, I gotta get mine. I gotta get my fix. He claimed that at first he would just buy a few figurines here and there because he was a big fan of pop culture franchises. Once he started getting lucky and finding rare figurines, that's when he began to have a problem. In his own words, he said that buying rare Funko Pops gave him a sense of euphoria and that he needed to find more when it was over. He would get severe bouts of depression and things would only get worse from there. At his lowest, he would go into 4 or 5 stores looking for figurines. If he didn't find any or found some damaged, he would trash the store and have to be kicked out. That is fucked. This all resulted in him losing his job because he would search for figurines online while at work, and his girlfriend left him because of this obsession as well. But he's far from alone. The intense demand for Funko Pops has driven some collectors to extreme behaviors, creating chaos beyond personal relationships. In some cases, the frenzy has even escalated into physical altercations, which leads into Funko Pop fights. Since Funko Pops are perceived as valuable and a hot commodity, this has led to people getting into fights and even resulted in serious injury because people cannot wait to get their grubby little hands on these figures. And before we get into the real nitty gritty, I just want to point out that there are plenty of stories of people getting hurt from owning these things. One man claimed that he slipped on a Funko Pop, hit the floor, and blacked out. People are tripping, slipping, bumping themselves. I wonder if anybody's choked on one. Do you think people have? Well, yeah, I think people have like probably put it in their mouth or whatever. Do you think anybody's?
I bet you there are some ER stories or
there's so many videos online where you're like a doctor's in there and they pull out the craziest shit from a dude's ass. I would clean that off, put it in a glass case and be like, that was in a guy's ass. Wouldn't that be awesome? That's a fucking Funko Pop to keep.
Do you clean it though? I think you keep it the way it is.
You clean it,
You
Nick.
keep it.
You clean the poop off of it. God. I guess if you have a glass case to kind of keep the shit on it. Look at it. Well, seriously. Beast Boy is a bit more beast than boy lately. Another person said that one fell and shattered, causing a huge gash in their hand, resulting in them having to get stitches. In a different instance, a kid swallowed a small piece and had to have surgery to get it removed. This has all occurred after people have already bought their figures, but the streets and stores get more dangerous when people are still on the prowl for the next find. One man claimed that he sent his wife to a local Hot Topic one morning while he was at work to wait for the release of a Batman Murder Machine Chase Funko Pop. Can you imagine that? Baby, could you go up to Hot Top and get my Batman Murder Machine Chase Funko, please? All right, baby. Oh, let me sleep in. When she arrived, a group of 4 dudes ahead of her rushed in and blocked anyone from grabbing any Funko Pops once the doors opened. Somehow, she managed to squeeze past the group, grab a Funko Pop, only for one of the men to reach back and rip it from her hands, causing it to fall on the floor and get crushed in the shuffle. Thankfully, she was able to find one left. And after leaving the store, one of the men from the group came up and apologized for his friend's behavior. Hey, seriously, we all get a little heated in there. She's like, it's okay, I still got one.
not crushed.
Yeah, not crushed, thank God, my hubby. He's like texting her, can you get Raising Cane's on the way home? Buzz Lightyear, like, fucking blanket. At a different hot topic, people were eagerly waiting in line to get their hands on the rare Twice My Hero Academia Chase Funko Pop. Look at these names, dude.
I have no idea.
But things started to get a little tense when a man at the front of the line began to threaten to stab anyone who tried to get ahead of him in the line. You are literally in front of the line. I'm just saying, if anybody tries to get in front of me, I'm gonna cut you! He meant like a wall of Funko Pops. I'm gonna kill every single one of you cocksuckers. Apparently, the two men arguing had a history of fighting to get a better spot in line at numerous Funko launches at the same hot topic, and one of them was fed up. The altercation continued until the man with the knife said he'd followed the other guy to his car, to which the other guy backed off. Imagine like having that reputation.
Horrible.
Yeah, I'm kind of the alpha when it comes to these Funko, the head bull in charge. In Florida, a 34-year-old man was charged with burglary and had 2 counts of battery after he followed a mother and son out of a Target and assaulted them so he could steal limited edition Funko Pop. In 2018, a 41-year-old man and his 64-year-old mother stopped by a Target hoping to find a rare limited edition Twinkie the Kid Funko Pop. You know, like the snack? On the store, a man named Charles Porter began following the mother-son duo as they went throughout the store, and after purchasing the figure, he followed them out of the store and again began shouting at them. Eventually, things escalated when Charles punched the son in the back of the head as the mother was pulling the car around. When the mother stopped, he crawled into the passenger side of the van, punched her, and stole the Funko Pop. My God! I feel bad, like the middle-aged guy and his elderly mother. Yeah, he just gets fucking assaulted. He goes into and he's just like, you fucking old bitch! He hits her in the face too. At that point, I could drag that bitch out like GTA and be like, I'm taking the van. Peace. The mother tried to stop the man by grabbing his shirt, but he took it off, pushed it to the ground, and ran away. Charles eventually returned to the Target, where he was identified and arrested. Police believe that he did this because the specific figurine could be sold online for $150, and he didn't want to pay the $10 in the store to buy it. Makes sense. Listen, today Funko as a brand continues to go down in sales as people are slowly losing interest in the growing amount of Funkos being produced. If you want to get into collecting figurines, there are so many other options that look better and act as an investment if you're like trying to go that angle. But if you plan on starting a Funko Pop collection, be aware of what you're buying and who you're around when buying it. You never know how badly someone might want that figurine. And I just want to say, guys, listen, if you like Funko Pops, like Funko Pops. Just for the love of God. Don't go to a store and get 9 Funkos and then try to resell it and like act like you're a human being. You're not. You're a piece of shit. Also, I want to shout out some people I like. Another great soft vinyl place I like collecting from, Unbox Industries. Just want to throw that out there. I like them. I like them. What can I say?
You can say you like them?
I do. I like them. And this is a little announcement too. Later on in the year, I'm just kind of prepping people up. I am starting my own figurine business, but it's not going to be a blind box thing. But we are doing a Margaret figure. Look at her. Isn't that nice? Even the thing comes down like this. Little detachable thing. You can put whatever you want in there. I don't give a shit what you put in there. But she's a beautiful thing. It's going to be an awesome thing. I'm very excited to have people come out and start collecting a lot of these little figurines. I hope I can make some stuff that will tickle your fancy, right? And it's not Funko or U2s. Do we throw shade at U2s?
Go for it.
I just don't like them. I mean, I don't know. If you like U2, I don't give a shit. You collect whatever you want. We're doing that. We're excited. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.